Alright.
Make sure this is on frickin' silent.
Oh, yeah.
Sons of bitches. Learn that lesson.
Alright.
Let's do it.
And we are go.
Lickety live. We're live now?
We are live now.
Sweet.
Coffee Regular.
Cool.
Episode 14.
Yeah.
Yo.
14/1 sub A. Like,
Yeah,
going
seriously.
back to like kind of episode, what? Is it 1?
Yeah, episode 1.
Okay, sweet.
Alright, yeah, we're reviewing today. We're revisiting Trusting the Process.
Yep.
Be consistent, trust the process. I think we found a measure of consistency. We haven't gotten to once a week just yet, but each of us seem to have something come up every other week.
Yeah. We're getting there.
We're getting much more
And even when we're
regular.
Off, yeah, coffee, regular. But even like when we're off, we're still like creating little bits of content. We started that process too, just creating little bits of goofy things like the voiceover stuff and our little, takes on movies and whatnot. So those are fun too.
Yeah, I think we're both starting to find our niches within our roles within the podcast, other than just sitting here drinking coffee. We're starting to sort of fill in blanks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then it just makes you realize how much goes into the process.
Yeah.
And that makes me, I'm like, yeah, dang, anyone who's doing a podcast out there, keep it up.
Yeah, especially like good
job.
ones that are consistent that we want to listen to.
Yeah, like super dude. Yeah.
We want to be one of those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're getting there. Mm-hmm. But that comes down to it. We've been trusting the process. 13 episodes later, 14 episodes later.
Yeah.
We're still around.
Still around. It's getting
still
better.
doing it.
The weather's warm again.
Yeah.
Now it was warm when we started.
Dang.
Here
full
we are.
circle.
Isn't that cool?
And we're back to episode 1.
And back to episode 1.
Trusting the process.
There it is. Yeah.
Dang. Okay. So that's coincidental awesomeness.
Yeah. It was some sort of accidental timing.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
cool.
last week we were off, so like now it just popped into this week, and then it's warm, and it's good.
Yeah, we
Cool.
might be back on the back porch again.
Yeah,
out in the back patio. Soon enough. It's very wet here in Ohio right now, though. So not yet.
Yeah, it's super. It's moist. I know people don't like the word moist, but it's freaking moist.
But it's moist. Like, go walk around your backyard barefoot. And that's what moist is.
That is what moisture is going to be like.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Trusting the process. What have you learned from the process of the podcast?
I've learned how to not. So I learned, I guess, to not be so harsh on myself in terms of content release, or just in general, just don't be so harsh on myself.
I've gotten a little easier with that too. I've gotten easier with that too. There's been episodes where I've been reluctant to even release them.
Yeah, I'm like, if I go back and change this, or we talk about changing it, even we're gonna go and snowball on it and do it, and then it's gonna be a whole other channel, and I don't even know if it's worth putting the energy into. But right now we're revisiting this one after an elapsed period of time, which is fine. But if we did it a day after we recorded it, oh no, we got to change this and this,
which we kind of did in the beginning.
That was
our
again.
First,
that's
we're oh, that was dumb. We did it again. Oh, I don't like it. Yeah.
But I mean, I learned through those mistakes.
Yeah, definitely.
I've learned through Jiu Jitsu, through my mistakes, through this, that, whatever, in terms of what happens when you trust the process. There is the downside of trusting the process when you're, going down with the burning ship kind of thing. Been there, done that.
Yeah, been that part. But even
but that's the lesson.
Yeah, even there was great lessons.
Exactly. You can smell smoke before you're burned by the fire.
Learn by doing. Yeah.
But on top of just not being as harsh on myself, but trying to compare myself to other things or other situations or other podcasts. Other podcasts. We all have our stages and phases, and the nice thing Jiu Jitsu teaches me, and that I always come back to, is just trusting the process. Again, damn. Every time. Okay, so we're gonna dry run the coffee regular drinking game. Every time we say trusting the process, you take a sip.
Oh, I popped that on the last episode.
Yeah.
With
Sweet.
Yeah. What was it? I can't remember the topic now.
Conflict.
Yeah, where I was like, every time we say conflict, take a sip.
Yep.
And so, this time, every time we say process or trust the process, sip, baby.
Yeah, that's
for
a sip.
sure.
Or push up or something. We're gonna start.
Something.
We're gonna start. I'm dishing stuff up.
Yeah.
For that, so
give us your options. Shoot us a video. Show us what you did.
It's going to be a coffee regular interactive experience.
Oh, for sure. Show us. Yeah, tell us what you did.
Yeah.
If you're doing push-ups.
Yeah. Yeah. Like make a workout routine out of it, or if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, like show us at least, or do something funny,
and at least make Irish coffee out of one of those drinks, please.
Yeah.
Coffee needs to be involved.
Pay a little homage,
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, like just try not to compare myself again. Like early on, I just always relate it back to like when I first started training jiu-jitsu, like, and like the insecurities I had there. I'm like, oh shit, like this guy's better than me, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You're on your path. You're on your plane, whatever, and whatever processes you're going through, it's going to be slightly different. Your jiu-jitsu is your fingerprint. Your podcast is your fingerprint.
Yes, this is very much.
So we can't sit there and make it like Joe Rogan's podcast or whatever podcast people like. Like you have to find our own thing with it.
In my opinion, Joe Rogan made it our podcast. He's got a gym down there now.
Yes,
we're already there, right?
Yeah, you should hit him up about that.
I should. If that gets us on the show, I'm down. A little crossover action.
Whether it gets us on the show or gets us a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, either or.
Like, all right, just fuck off, guys.
Yeah. Stop, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, don't mess with us.
Hi, Joe Hogan.
We like your man. He's cool.
I like you, Joe Hogan, man. Back when Renato Laranga was first coming around, that was one of the first videos.
Oh, was it?
Of him bugging Joe Rogan.
Oh, that's funny.
Joe Hogan.
I love it. Why is Renato so funny?
He's just accepted immediately by the community. I don't know why. It was well. At first, people were like, "What in the shit is this guy doing? Like, what the fuck?" And then people finally got kind of wind of it, and then everyone plays along. And
everyone plays along with it. That is like, I don't know, as a example of why I like the jiu-jitsu community. Say after having existed in these staunchly different and very much full of yourself taekwondo community, where everyone they outrank me and call them master, and everyone takes himself way too seriously, and like you couldn't make jokes like that publicly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I knew one dude would joke about himself. Master Pac, who I will always call Master Pac because he's the man, refers to himself as the Pac. He'll call you, "This is the Pac. I just want you to know that I will be here at noon. You'll pick me up, please." It calls himself the Pac, and he knows it, and he thinks it's funny.
Oh yeah,
and like he's the one dude.
I would call if my last name was Pac, I'd be Tupac.
He doesn't know who Tupac is.
I know he's the original Pac.
He's one Pac. He's one Pac, man.
He's single Pac.
That's why he is the Pac. But he's the one guy I ever met that like totally like made fun of himself. Like would just go and get you coffee, would say thank you, would do like joke with you. Like he didn't care.
Yeah.
But that was it. And so like when I saw that like Renato existed, it in a way reminded me of the Pac. But then I was like, everyone's embraced this dude, and they play along.
Oh yeah.
They go on, like if they're on his show, they play along with it.
Oh, he'll say like outlandish shit.
He'll say crazy shit and insult everybody, and but in like the funniest possible way, and they go right along with it. And some people will straight face it.
Yeah.
And some people will like try to be funny. Like it's funny.
He'll get like racist and stuff.
Oh, crazy!
Like there's that episode, and he was calling like Frank Shamrock Mexican dude. This day, making fun of his teeth.
Or
like
when did he do the one with Chris Cyborg? They did Rocky. They did Rocky 3.
Jesus,
that was nuts.
But yeah, the promos to those, which with like
the one with Kenny Florian
so
is
good.
The best ever.
And that was when we started doing like the voiceover thing. That's what like in my head.
That's what you thought of.
The spark of it.
I don't know like why I thought of that first one.
I think it's great
because I just we were talking about it, and that popped in my head, and I was like, I just want to say Mike and also Mike. Yeah, that's just what I want. And then I did it, and it worked out really well. Yeah, and if anyone's listening, give us some feedback on those.
Yes,
those we think they're funny.
Yeah.
But
but also at the same time they might be so obscure some people don't know. But the people who do get them are like fucking on point with it. You know?
Yeah, I mean my 80s movie references I guess are obscure. They don't seem obscure to me.
I know they don't.
But,
I know to us they're not. But that's my one buddy starting a podcast. He's super movie buff. So
right on.
We could he wants to collab and then we can talk about movies and stuff. So,
that'd be fun.
I mean,
right.
Get him super caffeinated, talk about movies.
Heck yeah. So before we get back to trust and process, today's coffee. A little combo platter. It's a rainy, kind of gloomy day here. It's not cold. It's nice and warm, but it's gloomy. And so I thought hot chocolate, but we didn't mix that up a little bit. So I got a little dark rain from Crimson Cup, a little bit of a cinnamon stick in there to brew with, and then some fancy like turmeric infused organic cocoa mix that my mama gave me for Christmas.
Excellent.
Booyah. Yes, it feels wonderful. It actually feels good to drink it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and here's my gripe about like coffee drinks and stuff like that, like, you know, mainstream ones, Starbucks, this and that, like yeah, I understand it's cheap and effective and quick to make these like sugary shitty drinks, but like there's this wonderful delicious drink made out of like turmeric or something, or like
turmeric,
dark chocolate, dark cocoa,
and like a couple of
cinnamon
things.
Stick, and that's it.
It's coffee though, yeah.
And it's coffee, but then it tastes amazing without the negative effects of like
all the
sugar
stuff
and crap. And
now that is my one upside to Crimson Cup. Crimson Cup I call a coffee shop for people who like coffee, because they have Nitro cold brew, they have cortados. They
do coffee.
They do coffee drinks, like actual coffee.
Right.
And
not like a.
I don't. Yeah.
Like caramel macchiato, and it's like a thing, and then it's like macchiato. Like
it's not really a macchiato.
Right.
Yeah. They have. I think they have real macchiatos there. Yeah. No, I like caramel macchiatos. By the way, as far as Starbucks goes, that would be.
So yeah, I mean that's the thing. I'm not. There's stuff I'm gonna get at Starbucks. I'm not gonna like say that, but.
Yeah, no, there's stuff there, but it's not coffee, man.
Right.
I call them floofy drinks.
Yeah.
Like, I get espresso at Starbucks just because it's at the front of Target and I like to talk to people that work there. And I refuse to own an espresso machine because then I would turn into freaking Leroy Jenkins of coffee. I don't want to be that. So that's why I buy my espresso elsewhere. But I have a mocha pot, which is a stovetop espresso maker.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It counts.
It really is good.
Definitely counts.
So,
yeah,
the process.
I think the comfort level has jumped up a lot.
Comfort level. We're talking like we're talking to each other now.
Yeah, it took a lot of episodes.
It really has. Like we look at each other now a little bit. Yeah. Like even now though we tend to look at the recorder a little bit. But
that and just random stuff and that's I do that when I talk anyway too.
Yeah, I'm very
nature.
Look around and I'm a bit eccentric. I'm not here.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I was like, lately I've really leaned into my weird, so that's.
Oh yeah.
Leaned back into my weird, I should say.
I've had a resurgence of leaning back into the weird too. Things have been changing, but changing for the better.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that keeps going.
It's hard to say because I don't believe in like jinxing that type of thing because I'm making the choices to do those things and this and that.
It's all about choice.
Yeah, you just
choice
keep
and reaction. It's choice.
Keeping decent choices happening and good stuff's going to continue happening and trusting the process. Boom,
trust it. Yeah, but yeah, with trusting the process, since our initial episode, I found that it has made a serious resurgence in my life. I keep thinking about it. So, say for example, Jiu Jitsu this week. I partnered up with a brand new dude one day this week. Brand new, had no freaking clue of anything. And I kept trying to tell him, like, just get what you can get, dude. It's cool. And, he had the normal, but this, that, because you don't know how to think about it. And I'm glad we were partnered because, I get it. I get that he doesn't have a reference point yet. So I was real gentle and calm with him. But at one point, it was really funny because we were doing a cool throw. And a pretty a pretty like typical Vitor style judo throw, which I love. For some
Drop
reason,
on face, Seonagi type deal.
yeah, this weird
Murder
like
ball.
inside knee to the floor thing that he does.
Dope.
But like Vitor has like my judo game, but like good. Like the game I always wanted to have is what he does. All my favorite throws, he does. And so it's like, thank you, universe. All the stuff I like tried to learn all these years, he has it mastered. Yes, and so I can do all of it pretty well. But we were doing this, and then we were going into an arm bar from guards. So it was a cool little thing. And so the person, like, you would throw them and end up in their guard, and then they would arm bar you and go back and forth. And at one point, I'm with this dude, and I kept kind of backing off the arm bar because, you know, new guy. And
Snapping.
big guy. He was huge. Like, big dude. So he was actually hard to hold in place as well. And it didn't occur to me that he didn't understand that I was backing off the arm bar. I never thought that he was like, oh, we're just getting into a position and that counts for something. Like, you're scoring. And at one point, I went to arm bar. Like, it happened kind of in two separate bits. I kind of backed off an arm bar, and his response was odd to me. I can't even remember what he said, but I just, like my brain went, Kirk, and I was like, why am I confused? What's going on? And then Vitor comes over and corrects us, and he's arm barring me. And he's like, no, lift up your butt. You have to push your hips forward. And he goes, what? And he did, and it starts to bend my arm backwards. And I tap, and he went, oh, like light bulb moment, like, holy crap, this actually breaks people's arms. You know? And I was like, oh, he didn't realize that the whole point of the arm bar was to snap the arm in half backwards. Oh, duh. Yeah. I'm like, what a cool place to be, though. Like, fresh.
Yeah.
Absolute fresh. You know,
That's a nice like moment for you to experience someone else's first moment of
like, whoa.
Yeah.
It was really neat because he was a really nice dude. Big dude, but super gentle. And like just that, like, you know, and no one's confident the first time, like it was his second class. No one's confident in the beginning with a gi on. It was like, I don't know. You know. And so it was neat. It was neat to kind of be like, oh.
That's a very nice organic experience to notice that. And hey, that's a good, other people struggling with like white belt moments or this or that. Like that's a really good benchmark for you to be like, oh, this is how far I've come. Like that moment for me is different now. Like, that's how small a jiu-jitsu success can be. Like,
oh, completely. But
people like think like, oh, I know this move or I know this thing now. Like,
no, you don't.
No, like that's the thing. Like, jiu-jitsu or grappling or martial arts in general just shows you how little you know about shit.
Yeah. If you're doing it right, too, you continually
have to
find new idiot bits of things.
Yeah. And I think that's the nice thing with jiu-jitsu is it puts you in that uncomfortable spot all the time to make you constantly ask yourself that question. Like, all right, got to make something happen, got to change something. This,
like
that.
I was trying to figure out how to explain to this dude that like, you don't have to be strong or flexible to do jiu-jitsu. I said all you have to do is put your body in the right spot. It's like puzzle pieces, and oddly enough, he said he likes to do puzzles. He's like, well, all these puzzle pieces are very similar colors, and there's a gradient of color here, and I'm having trouble. And I'm like, yes, that was a beautiful answer, because that's right. Like, no one ever said that before. And he goes, yeah, I like to do puzzles. So I'm like, well, but then
because that's a beautiful moment as like a teacher and just like a
because I'm trying to explain it to him, and he kind of came back at me with like a new nuance of it, and then I was like, oh fuck, I don't know how to explain it to him. But, you know, so I kind of started doing it, figuring out where to put myself. And then he had the armbar moment, and it, like, clicked for him what I meant. And he was like, what?
that teaching moment, or just that moment clicking, I compare it to, like, food coloring going into water. Like, it's that one drop, it spreads, and it just, like,
Diffusion.
that's just, exactly. Yeah. Then it's just entirely a different thing. Like, if you can start to open that up for people, and just open up their minds. So they're like, oh, I can think a different way. I can think outside the box and still make something happen. Or, you know, and then on top of not making them feel stupid when they do fuck up, because they're going to fuck up.
And, you know, and jiu-jitsu is nice for that, is because no matter how good you get, you're fucking something up. You're doing something perfect and you're fucking something up. And, you know, if you're cool with that and everyone around you is cool with that, like everyone just sort of supports each other and like, oh, you took a step forward. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always so many like analogies with jiu-jitsu, like, when you're a white belt, you have a butter knife. When you're a blue belt, you have a knife with a point.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. The way I look at it, if you want to, you can say, when you're a white belt, you have a stone and a flint.
Yeah.
When you're a blue belt, you have a lighter. When you're a purple belt, you have a torch. When you're a brown belt, you have a fucking, I don't know, a can of hairspray and a lighter. And like, when you're a black belt, you're a flamethrower. Just so you can see on the wall, it says you don't know shit.
Yeah.
And just to get to that point, to realize that you don't know shit, and that you have to continue going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like the end game.
And I find with like martial arts that's people who are doing it right. That's the process.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Of continually figuring out, like, I thought I knew this, and then you run into trying to explain it to someone, or you do it and something clicks, or there's all these little bits.
On top of, but there's the personal conflict that goes on. It's like, well, do I really not know this? You have to accept inside, like, yes, I don't know this.
Like,
I have to unlearn this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then you think about a time you told someone so confidently that was the thing.
You knew that shit. Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, that's
I was listening to a TED Talk today about leadership and how incompetent men, why are so many incompetent men leaders? Mm-hmm. It was very cool because it was a dude from Argentina. And so he made a funny Argentine joke. He said, you know what the best investment is you pay for an Argentine man at what he's worth, and you sell him at what he thinks he's worth. And so I guess culturally, like, everyone's just egoed out, man. Sure. And so, yeah, sorry, my Argentine friends. I got that joke from an Argentine guy. All right,
just referencing.
Yeah, but it was funny because he's like, that's people's view of a good leader is flawed, is because it's all about charisma. And people that say they know they're good. And it's like the narcissistic of, well, if you think you're great, you're great. Like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, that's why so many bad leaders exist and so many good leaders are ignored.
So
because they're
verbose.
Boring.
Yeah, the good leaders are quiet.
They're
and the
quiet.
Loud, annoying ones are verbose and breathy.
Yeah, exactly. The good leaders let everyone else talk and they listen. And then they help guide.
Yeah, they smile wryly and walk away. Like,
they're like, cool. And the bad ones are all talking about stuff all the time, and everyone's following them. You know, talk about just the process of it. I'm trying to say it as much as possible. Yeah, but
you're going to be caffeinated, hydrated, or drunk by the end of this.
Oh yeah, or you're just worn out if you're doing push-ups.
Exactly.
Your arms will not function for days. I remember when I used to be a personal trainer, and I got to see that firsthand. As I'm be a little fool of myself as the smartest guy in the room there.
I remember. Weren't you at where were you?
I was at what was California Fitness turned into Lifestyle.
Okay, yeah. So when that was around.
Then that was around. So now that was a funny situation because here I am. I'd cut my hair. I wore my glasses.
I know some people you trained with over there, and yes, you were the smartest guy in the room.
Yes, I know I was. Well, I'll show you how that was, how I proved that a couple times. And I just couldn't get clients until, like, I got a lot of, like, old ladies. I got a lot of moms. I got a lot of injured people that everyone else was afraid of because they didn't want to mess with people that had surgeries and stuff. And I'm like, I can handle that. It's fine. And then, like, I was like this rumor in the gym. Like, I was like, of other people, they'd be like, oh man, I wish I could train with you. I'm like, you know you can. But I'm not stealing you from anybody because I'm not like that. So. Yeah. And then other trainers would be training people and ask me a question. I'd just be like cleaning the treadmill or something, like in between, and be like, yeah, and I'd give them a quick anatomy lesson. Or like when the head guys from like, whatever, corporate, wherever, come in and try to sound real smart, and I'd be translating for everybody. He actually just said bend your elbow. Like, that's all he said. And then I would I would kind of say that loudly. Everyone would turn around and dude would look at me. I'm like, that's really all you said though, dude. It's joint range of motion, right? He's like, yes. I'm like, and then they tried to make us have this, make us get this weird certification that was a lie.
Yeah,
It was dumb.
A lot of those things will a lot of specific businesses will bring in like a specific brand or product and make it seem like that's their thing. Or
I was like, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
Does this count as CEUs toward my CSCS?
Right.
That's like everyone knows.
Thing, yeah.
And you're like, I don't think so, but it's big in Europe. If anyone ever tells you it's big in Europe, don't pay for it, guys. Yeah, I'm big in Japan because most Japanese people aren't 6'1", buddy.
Yeah.
That's why. Exactly. But I'm big in Japan. Huge, right? But
I'm big during kids class.
That's exactly. You're
boom.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not paying for it. I'm not doing it, guys. And they were like, you really should. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And so while everyone's studying for this and taking this test, they'd be taking the test in like some room, and I'd be training somebody, and someone would poke their head out. Hey, Mike, what's the answer to? And I'm like, let me guess. Like, because it's A, B, C, or D. I'm like, let me guess. A is this, but B is that. And I'd give it to them. They're like, yes. I'm like, they want you to say B, but it's A.
Yeah.
Here's why. And I'd just be training someone. Thanks, man. So everybody got A's on that quiz. You know, everyone, like, I'm putting that out there because I probably know that none of that place doesn't exist here anymore.
Yeah.
But everyone got A's, but everyone got A's because of me. But talk about trusting the process of, let me knock it back a little bit more to when I was in college. I have a degree in exercise physiology, and it was the hardest fucking things I've ever done in my life.
That's something a lot of people don't know about you.
Is that it sucked. It was so difficult. Like, I cried. It hurt bad. And I never slept either then. And that's probably a big part of it. But I was like, I got to get this. I can be good at this. Because I got that major, A, because one of my students' parents told me I was that major and just put me in. And B, I was like, help me kick harder. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, let's do that. But then I remember my my advisor and Dr. Gilders was the man, direct protege of Dr. Hagerman, Fitz Hagerman, who started the first sports science lab in North America in the 70s in OU.
Dang.
Yeah, in Athens. Yeah. So Dr. Gilders used to just like murder my tests because I can't spell. Like, I suck at spelling because I'm blind. I was blind till I was legally blind till 6 years old.
Squiggles on paper.
Yeah, I don't spell well, but I know everything. And I remember, I'll never forget, he's murdering one of my papers once, and we're talking about it. He goes, Mike, listen, man, I know you know this stuff. You know this better than anyone in this room. Just make it through, because what you understand is the one thing I tell everybody, and they all ignore. Learn how it all fits together. That's the key. You have to integrate all of this and see how it all pieces together. You do that. You do that great. Just make it through. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm going to do it. And that was I think he told me that the second time I took XPhys 1, the main class, which is the most insane class ever. It should be 3 classes. It was 1. And so it's like one of those classes you feel sorry for the teacher because he has to cram in so much info and be so super organized. And we were having that discussion at the time. I was like, why is this class so hard? He goes, it's not my fault. They make it that hard. I want it to be 3 classes. They say it has to be 1. I've got 20 different majors that come through this class. And so then we kind of went into that. But he's like, just make it through, understand how it all fits together. And that's where we're at with me. Now, like, do I do that? I integrate. It's, that's my thing, but that's the process. And I trusted that process, and I suffered through it. And all these years later, I'm still studying my ass off, figuring it out.
You paid your dues.
Yeah, I'm keeping and paying my dues.
Yeah,
and actually,
that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm learning some new shit. I got some new hotness right now, and you're gonna love it.
I love it. That's the thing. Mike pretty much fixed me up. Like,
you were falling apart a little bit, man.
Yeah, I was fucked up. Like, ankles were falling off. Felt like I was just kind of a mess, and like that put a damper on my competition spirits in general. I just felt like shit all the time. So, and that sort of just happened organically because I was like, oh man, this hurts. I would just like mention this hurts. I'd be like walking funny, and you'd be like, what's up?
What's going on? Let me.
And then you'd kind of poke, prod, stick around something,
I missed Miyagi a little bit.
Yeah,
give me a little temporary relief.
And I mean, you're quiet, so like I'm like, well, you know, like everyone's reaction is like, well, what the fuck does this guy know? So then I start listening to what you're saying, and like then I'm starting to see how you're like interacting with other people. I'm like, oh shit, he knows a lot of stuff about this. Like, a lot of stuff about this. So just through training and stuff, like, that's how you kind of became like my S&C guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can credit my first fight to win victory and my second fight to win victory to you and stuff like that.
The second one especially. The first one was a lot of biohacks.
Yeah. Which was cool.
I showed you how to fool yourself into being in shape for an hour.
Well, yeah, it was awesome. I felt great for that hour.
We timed that so hard, man.
And that was nuts, but it was beautiful. But then, the second one was... Performance-wise was, like, cool, but just energy-wise was next level.
Energy-wise was next level. You didn't even know you couldn't rein it in.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit! So, but yeah, that kind of, like, you know, set my systems back in place and kind of gave me that path. So, and that's the thing. I was always kind of looking for, like, just wanted the fucking truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
So, you kept looking for it. You found it. And now I'm starting to
That's what drew me to you as a teacher too. Kind of the same idea of someone who has a quiet confidence about them and doesn't take themselves very seriously, but really truly knows their shit. And that's a fun person to learn from, just for me. Yeah. You know? And so, like, I just learned from you quite well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like a guy that's that good, that doesn't care that he's that good. Like, that's...
You could go away all like that.
Yeah.
Then what?
Yeah.
That's what I always think about, like, people talk about having, like, a bad day on the mats, this, that, whatever. Speaking of whenever I say this, that, whatever, also take a sip. I say that a lot. Take a sip. But if you have, like, a bad day on the mats, it's like, you're on the mats.
It's part of the process,
You're not in a fucking wheelchair. You're not, you know...
You're able to be here in your sweaty
gi. You're fucking here. You're moving. You're generally healthy. Like, shut the fuck up and love it. Like,
you're good enough to have a crappy day. That's
like you're alive. Man. You're on the. I say to people, I'm like, oh, it's another day in paradise because I mean that, or I say it's another day on the right side of the dirt because I mean that because I could be fucking dead. I could walk outside, get hit by a fucking bus. You know.
Yeah.
So it's another day that I'm like, this is what's up.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, man. That's funny. Last night, I've recently ended up partnering at nighttime classes with this dude who used to be like best buddies with one of my stepsons. I had no idea.
That's cool.
And I was talking about him. He goes, wait. And like how we figured it out, he goes, wait, do you know? And I'm like, yeah. Oh my gosh, man. And tells me who he is. And I'm like, really? So this is like the same age as them. It's really funny. Whoa, my backpack finally fell down. Ghosted.
Patrick Swayze, what are you doing here?
Swayze, what's up, man? I love you too, buddy.
Come have a seat.
Signs of change, though, man. Like, my white belt was in there. They say when a picture falls off the wall, that means someone's going to die.
I see. Yeah.
You see?
It's coming.
See? I've been... Interesting. Or there's going to be a serious change in that thing.
I can see that.
Oh my gosh.
You never know.
I'm glad we got that on tape.
Dang.
All right, very cool. Okay, so...
so many weird phenomena today.
So many weird. Oh, you feel it in the air.
Yeah.
All right, so... well, it was funny because we were training. I was training with this kid last night. It's so funny. Like, I'm keeping up with the kids. I feel good, right? I feel really good lately. It's this new shit I'm working on. It's like... It's nice.
It's online.
It's nice. It lines up with our strength and conditioning as recovery and prevention thing.
So good.
It's all joint stability stuff and mobility. Oh, it's nice.
Speaking of, I showed Brooke some because she was having some issues and she's starting it up. So I'm trying to push her down that path. Maybe
well, if she needs an assessment.
I was gonna say, I was like, stop in.
Have her come in. We'll figure it out. I'll get her started.
Do the good stuff.
But we were doing this. We were doing a what's the choke where you grab your sleeve and you come around? Is that the
Ezekiel?
Yeah, so we were Ezekiel choking off someone trying to escape the guard. Or not escape. You have their back, and they go to the top side of the seatbelt, which Jake referred to as the wrong side.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, here's why. And then you kind of... they get the half guard. You use the half guard to get them on their side and get them mounted, and you either go for the Ezekiel or the head and arm. We're connecting the two, and so like we're choking the shit out of each other with this Ezekiel, and like I'm joking about it. I'm like, I need a sec, man. Oh.
Spirit.
And at one point, I choked this kid, and he's like, I'm like, you okay? He goes, I'm good, man. Mama didn't raise no bitch. And I was like, do we need to have the okay to tap discussion? I was like, because I just had that discussion with my daughter on the way in. And I'm like, that's what I said. I'm like, I just had this discussion with my daughter on the way here. Do we need to have that discussion? It's okay. It's like, I make old man jokes to this kid all the time.
That's funny. Well, that's funny. Just because, a funny parallel, someone who just started at the gym knows, like, my brother-in-law's mom, and it's like a strange connection that way.
Yeah.
But then there's other people, too, that are having issues with, like, tapping mentality and that, and just kind of understanding that, so...
Understanding it's okay.
It's a thing, yeah, it's a thing amongst jiu-jitsu gyms, so...
It's funny, but it's just, because it reminds me of when I was younger, and, like, I would take hits from the big guys and be fine with it. And, I mean, I'm pretty tough. I can take a hit. I'm good. I learned how to do it. But there are plenty of times where, like, I get hurt, and I'm kind of famous in that sort of earlier version of my life for just taping it up and going on. And I'm very much paying for all that now. But
yeah, don't do that, people.
And I just laugh because I'm like, yeah, used to be that. Yep. I know punk bitch, you punk bitch. Keep going. And yeah, it's really funny. I'd be at this point in the process to sort of be able to come back around and be back at the beginning of the process, but with it doesn't hurt my ego to tap or screw up in front of everybody. It's okay. It's okay. I know where this goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I don't know. I understand that. It's just because, I mean, on top of, like, in my position personally, like, instructor role, sometimes, like, people look at that, like, I tap all the time.
They expect you to be invincible.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck no. Like, I'm training too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I put myself in a really bad spot. I know that way doesn't work. I admit that. Cool, let's move on.
Yeah,
I got other options to try
how else
out
do you
to
discover
fuck
that?
up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I have 10 other options that I'm going to use to fuck you up, so.
Well, that's funny, too, because people don't tend to realize that if they see, like, the guy they view as perfect get tapped, get owned, like,
right.
They think they can just suddenly, they're going to just do everything to you there. They don't realize that, you know, I can actually just destroy you in many, many, many ways. I just chose to do.
But then, you know.
Instead, you don't see the other options here, man.
Right. That's just like a goofy student-teacher relationship thing.
It is, but it kind of tells you where your student's at, too.
Yeah.
You can kind of see their narcissism hasn't been like totally deflated yet.
Right.
Oh, that's why I used to make the joke of like, I know I'm getting good because I could see 2 ways I'm gonna die. If I went left, it's gonna be this, and I went right, it's gonna be that, and you're like, I got 5 more things I was actually gonna do.
Stack them.
I'm like, I can't see those 5 things. I saw 2 and I'm happy.
Yeah. Life is funny. Jiu-Jitsu is funny. Funnier.
Wow, the parallels. So, let's be a little more... Uh-oh. There was a beep. What?
Nah, just the 2 p.m.
Just 2?
Beep.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right, how much time you got?
Till like 3 today, so...
All right, cool. We got a little bit more time. Good deal. All right, so back to a little more specific about the process. Got anything?
Just knowing, having faith in trusting the process. There is trusting the process, and then you can, take yourself further back and speculate, or if you're faltering about it, like, just keep doing it.
Yeah, just
keep doing it.
Yeah, so what are ways that you do that? Like, if you're faltering in the process, you're having, say, multiple bad days, where I know for me that, because I understand sort of the learning process, I know transition phases, and you hear me say that all the time.
Yeah.
Right before you're about to get better, you're going to fuck everything up.
Yeah.
And at the transition phase, while your nervous system is in the midst of rewiring because you've established a new proper pattern. It has to kick out the old pattern and then solidify the new one. And so you get this weird transition period where you suck real bad and then suddenly you're amazing.
Yeah.
It's not sudden, it's actually how it works.
It's a thing.
But a lot of people get stuck there and either quit or give up or get real discouraged and get stuck in a hole.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty simple with that. It's like you just have to embrace it and know that that's what's happening and go with the flow. Because, like, if you're hitting a wall on something, sit it down, walk away from it, do something else if you want, come back to it. Yeah. People like have this weird anxiety with jiu-jitsu, like, oh, I have to learn the armbar today. I'm like, you're gonna maybe take like a grip from it or something. Like, it's the massive accumulation over a massive amount of time. Yeah. And it's not just something you can think about either. You have to do it and be immersed in it. And
but I mean, you also have to think about it.
Absolutely.
You also have to watch it.
Yeah.
You also, sometimes I like to write down how many steps I can get out of something, and see, like, then that shows me the level of detail. Like, it's my, in my 16-bit or my 32-bit. If I moved it, how many.
That and it's just like trying to just apply my process to it. My process to things is naturally fucking up for a long time, and then just slowly getting better at them until I have some semi-consistent, decent product or decent whatever, like or decent anything. So
not mine too.
Anything, I'll just keep fucking up until I fuck it up slightly less.
And like every time you fuck it up slightly less, you kind of pull out that correct piece.
And
say,
that
piece is
the
correct.
That's on the shelf.
And then you start going. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I enjoy that process. And I don't meet a lot of white belts, even blue belts, honestly. I haven't met many yet that are in that bit. They're still trying to get everything right.
You're a prestiged white belt, though. So,
I got
the mentality.
The mentality's different. And I love that I'm able to do it right the first time.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get a second chance in terms of, switching martial arts. Like, people be like, oh, dang, I got...
To be at a legit ground zero again.
Yeah.
And
after you've been on top.
After you've been way up there, and to be able to go back to beginning, and just enough beginning that I'm comfortable, but I'm clueless. And it's still been such a wonderful experience at that point. But then to revisit, much like this episode, compare this episode to our first episode, and I hope you see a clear improvement.
I imagine there would be.
It's hard to listen to yourself and not think you suck, but so we can't do it. But others should be able to. Longtime fan. I believe Jimmy's been around since the beginning.
Right.
Jimmy would be able to tell us. Yeah, he'll be able to tell us how much we've improved. But
he shares every episode. It's on top of it.
That's all right. We got to have him on the show.
Yeah. Oh, he's got some stories, and
I'm sure he does.
He's got all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the #1 fan.
Yeah.
Oh.
But with every time I say take a sip. that counts as one.
There's like 3 separate games going here.
Yeah.
Pick this word or that word. Every time I do a funny accent, take a sip. So I say talking about 12 different accents.
Or like anytime we threaten to beat up someone, or like thought about beating up someone, that happens a lot. We're like, man, we should have fucked that dude up. Or
I try not to do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's still in my head though, that old bit, that old me.
Oh yeah.
Living in the burbs is funny.
It's like an angel's demons on your shoulder kind of thing. It's like, fuck that dude up. Like, no, don't.
No, it's not the 90s. It won't finish anything anymore.
You're gonna go to jail.
It will.
Defend your honor.
No, defend your honor, damn it. When it's done, they'll accept their loss and you'll be friends. No, they won't. It's not the 90s. Get over it.
It's not the case. But as far as trusting the process with this too, I've gotten more comfortable sharing it and pushing it with people.
Yeah. Now that's
specific people too.
Specific people. Yeah, that was when we first started. I was like, Mike, you need to put this out. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were struggling. And even I was like, oh man, he's faltering with it. Oh man. And then it took up to literally yesterday I sent a link to one of my friends who's a black belt in Tennessee. He's super cool.
Yeah. I've started getting more comfortable with sharing it with more and more people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that for me, man, I couldn't do it.
I remember you were
I couldn't do it.
I can't fucking do the Facebook thing.
It was
like,
messing
all right,
with me.
give me a sec. And
Yeah.
I had to give you a second on that one. But we got it figured out. See, that's the thing. We trusted the process. We got it figured out eventually.
But yeah, I mean, especially after doing that first episode, and I was like, this is part of the process. I just need to find a way to get through it. And so that's why I tossed it at you. And then kind of slowly, I just recently started telling people about it more and more.
Yeah.
Like outside of like on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, like in real life, trying to get people I know to listen to it.
Yeah, I was really apprehensive just in my mind in terms of like telling people about it. I didn't want to be like, oh, I have a fucking podcast. Like, you want to listen?
I don't want to come off as a douchebag. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like, but because I'm like, I have a podcast. It's a learning process. Give me some feedback. It's more like that. Like,
yeah.
Like, help. Give me help. Just understanding it was more like that, not like someone who's like, oh, you have a podcast? Fuck you for having a podcast. So like on most areas of my life, I don't give a shit about people's opinions and like this is new and this is new.
So
yeah,
it kind of brings that care and like, oh man, that's a fuck I give. Damn it.
Yeah, but then realistically, we've only really had like positive stuff and I think that lays a foundation. Even if negative stuff starts to kick in, like we can deal with it. You know, not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I figure hopefully, if you want to go by modern, like current, standards of success, don't we need a ton of haters?
Yeah.
And that means we're successful,
right?
Like I think that's
need
stupid,
someone,
by the way. But
it is stupid. But at the same time, like talking about it.
Hey, keep talking about us.
Yeah.
Yes, put it out there.
Those two dickheads talking about coffee and jiu-jitsu. Like, that's us.
That's us.
Fuck you.
Try the coffee. You'll love
dickhead.
it. It'll bring you around. But so I mean, so far we've had like just kind of off. I want to say mainly off your rep. A lot of people, that like you have been tuning in.
Yeah,
I think I've gotten a few people on my end, but I know much less people these days. And so, but
people, I mean, they know you through me too. Some people do anyway. Like,
those two guys are chatting. What? Yeah. That might be interesting.
That's the thing. People didn't realize. I never like announced on like Facebook like you're like helping me out with strength and conditioning or anything. Like people didn't realize like we interacted outside of the gym.
Oh, funny. Isn't that funny though? Because like you don't realize how you're perceived.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I guess I never really told anyone, but again, like whose fucking business is it? Like,
really.
It's my time off, whatever. Fuck off. But yeah, like just getting to the point where. Like, after, 14 episodes, it's just now, like, some people are like, oh, I saw you have a podcast. Like, oh, I saw this. Like, I want to get around to get into it. Like, I understand that people are going to sit and, like, with bated breath for every episode and, like, sit through. I hope they do eventually, but, like, right now they won't.
Yeah, and I mean, time's the thing. We make a fairly long cast.
Yeah.
So listen to it in bits and...
Yeah, listen to it in bits, like, on your drive, or, like, sit down with your morning process, your morning coffee, whatever.
Oh, the process of the morning is
important. Yeah, we've talked about the rituals and stuff like that,
Yes, definitely have the solid morning rituals.
But, yeah, make our process a part of your process.
Yes, please do. That would be nice.
And I think, like, some of it's been like the availability stuff, just like learning what to put it on. Like I don't fucking know. Like
my dumb ass not getting it up on iTunes yet.
We'll get it on iTunes.
I keep not having time to do it.
We'll get on iTunes and like whatever, a different one, iHeartRadio or some shit like that. Like some of the bigger, easier, accessible ones.
Yeah, like, I mean that's part of the process too. Is there's even the template for this is actually fairly difficult to understand. And so, like, I've been sort of mulling through all that. Yeah. And I was trying to force it in the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I kind of started to step back and just, like, all right, I'm going to treat this like I'm learning how to do a new move. What do I say? Get what you can get.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get what I can get. I'm going to be with that for now. And more is going to come.
Because early on, we were slightly, like, urgent with it. Like, and we were kind of like... Oh shit! Like we gotta do this and like,
gotta get it out. Gotta do that.
Yeah. So now it's to the point where like, okay, the ball is rolling. Yeah. Let's keep it rolling.
Keep the ball rolling. It'll be okay.
We don't want it to collect moss.
Yeah. And so it's rolling steadily.
Yeah.
I dig that it's not going too fast.
Yeah, and we have good organic things happening in terms of like Face Kick Friend episodes and like the drinking game now, and
we're
little
discovering
bits of content.
things. We're
Like the
discovering
promos.
stuff.
Like, I think there is no limit to it. It's just like what we are comfortable doing and express it and pushing past that. And
but letting it happen.
Yeah,
that process for us has been very interesting because we both had an inkling of it at the beginning, but it's easier now because now things have started to drop out of that. Of we got a way we can chat with each other now, of how we approach a topic, how we even think of a topic. We think of them better now, I think. And then we also have other bits of content. We've got the Face Kick Friend idea, which we need to get more people in, but that it exists. We got one, and it's there. And then the whole, now we got to take a sip every time we say, Proccess.
But yeah, the more it builds and layers.
Starting to build more, and we're getting, more interactive ways to be a part of it.
When it started off, we were both just like, fuck yeah, like we're doing this now. And then, because like we didn't have a ton of, we didn't have footing really. We were just kind of like doing it.
I was like, I got this recorder.
Yeah, exactly. And like, not that we're too far past that, but we have a slight grip.
Yeah, the grip is a little better.
Yeah,
there's a few more fingers on that.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, just
but at least we got it's smooth.
It's not like, okay, do we do this, that? Like,
Yeah, the jitteriness is a little bit gone.
Yeah.
The technique is a little smoother. It's not fast. It may not
White Belt One Stripe podcast.
Yeah, it may not be particularly effective yet, but if the footwork is smooth and the placement is smooth, great things happen. Smoothness is the key.
What were we talking about? What was the movie example? Was it the first episode we talked about?
Glass Dragon?
Yeah. With Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with Johnny, just always be there practicing.
Always be there.
One day those nunchucks will work, man.
Just always be there.
Yeah.
Even when people are like laughing or doing other shit.
Even when everyone's making fun of you and you're the joke. Guess what? You're the guy that's always there.
Because it's going to pay off.
Eventually you're going to be the best dude.
So, we're just here. We're fucking here.
And
we're going to be there.
Just me and Johnny. One day we're going to jump up and those nunchucks are going to hit everybody.
It's going to take like one time, like someone super famous, super cool is going to stop in. Fucking takes it right off.
Yeah. Travis Stevens.
John Danaher.
Yeah.
Marcelo,
come in.
Who else? Who else would I want to talk to?
Oh man, I could never think of this at the moment. I'll think of it like throughout the day. I'll be, that would be awesome. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh man.
Well, there's some people that I would like to talk to, and that I wouldn't be comfortable questioning them. Like, if you got like fucking Hickson or someone, like, how do I ask that guy a question?
Hickson's not the most talkative dude, man. He's spent too much of his life having to win.
Right.
I think that has sort of made him very closed off. Example of the guy that had to be perfect all the time.
Sure.
And that'll mess with your head. Yeah. Like, he probably doesn't have a lot of friends. Yeah. And that's probably why.
Because he beat them all up.
Because he beat everybody up, and then he's like, just let me be. I've aged.
Yeah.
I don't want to be... Ugh. Come on.
It's almost unfortunate now because
that guy's so much knowledge.
Yeah. Well, now he's more active in terms of like
he's coming out of his shell.
Stuff. Yeah.
He's really coming out of his shell more.
But it was reluctant.
Yeah. I think it was like he had so much negative. Like, think about how when we first met, how we were sort of unpacking our negative experiences.
Oh yeah.
Imagine all the
spearhead of
everything. Spearhead of that any of our experiences times 1,000.
Yeah. Even just because his last name's Gracie.
Yeah, and because he was the family champion for so long of that fucking family.
Yeah.
That's going to take you a little while to kind of relax and be comfortable.
Well, because you'd have people coming in to be like, I'm going to fight you now. And there's that.
Whether you want to or not, you got to go beat that guy up.
Yeah, there was the famous story, I forget who it was, like a Japanese pro wrestler.
Oh, the wrestler came in and they went in the back room and he has the tape that he hasn't released? Yep. Yeah, that one. I can't remember that dude's name.
He wasn't even at the gym that day. Someone called him.
And he had to come
his bike down and beat his dude's ass and called it a day. And dude was, looking rough, and Hickson didn't have a scratch on him.
Yeah, and Yeah, and that's more than one story like that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
and that's where you hear like, well, did they test it or film it or whatever? Like, well, that dude had a busted ass face and he was done fighting, so he
yeah, and it's
like,
been
well,
filmed,
test it.
but
Like, yeah,
it's. I mean, with that particular one, he keeps saying that there is a film, but he won't release it out of honor.
yeah. He has the only copy, I believe, and then he's sitting on it.
And because it's like
People have asked him
people
about it.
don't need to see that. We know it happened. We had
He
the
knows
discussion.
the outcome.
The other guy knows it happened. Out of respect for him, I'm not showing everybody. But like, imagine if you put that out on iTunes for $1
$1 billion.
You'd make $1 billion, man. Yeah, and that's quoting Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan actually said that once. He's like, just put it up, man. What?
So much money, just right off the bat.
Yeah, but like, that's cool. That's the cool thing about Hickson too is
Yeah, I
won't
respect
do it.
that.
Like, I totally respect.
But at the same time, he also has like this fucking he has match footage. He has fight footage.
You've got
you
all-
see him.
You see him. I mean, I just watched. I watched Choke again like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Come on.
That, or you also have other world class people saying that rolling with him is like rolling with fucking Boulder or rolling with
I had a little bit of experience like that last night when we were working on the Ezekiel to the head and arm and passing them back and forth. I love the pairing, how submissions pair up, which is really neat. It's a really fascinating thing. But doing the head and arm of, I was getting it okay. And, the dude I was with he's getting it well. I was like, this is pretty good. And then Jake came around and demoed on me. And even just starting it, and I was in it like, and he's not a very big dude. But like, he grabbed a hold of me and like, I was like, that is perfection. Please don't finish that. I will die.
Exactly.
Yeah. But even just like beginning of it, he just touched me and I was like, oh, that is a dude that knows how to do this. That's where I want to go.
That's what will always make jiu-jitsu what it is. Like the touch, you gotta feel it and do it.
But you can tell the difference in the touch.
Yep.
Someone who truly knows what they're doing and it is now effortless versus I did that okay.
Yeah. It's labored.
It was labored, but just to feel that level, like I love that. That's why I love being a test dummy, man. Because then you get to like feel how it's done right. Like, oh, that's what I'm going for. Yeah. That was a nice part of my process of, oh, okay, I can get there. Or like with my new strength and conditioning stuff, it's Travis Stevens, strength and conditioning coach. And I'm trying to learn these things. And it's movements, it's concepts I understand, but it's a movements and approach that I've never done, which is really cool.
Sure.
And so it's very difficult for me. And at one point I'm doing something and I'm like, if Travis Stevens can do it, I can do it. And I kept telling myself that. And I started doing it and like I was getting it down. But I'm like, he can do it, I can do it, dang it. Yeah. And just, that's the kind of things I do to myself.
Yeah.
But I have a belief, and it started with comic book characters. Like I wanted to be Batman, I wanted to be Nightwing especially. I'm like, if he can do it, I can pull it off.
Yeah.
And I drug that into reality. And that's still my process. It's still what I do. And I figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And it works.
Exactly.
Hey, cool. Yeah.
Well, just like having a semi unrealistic goal, like trying to be fucking Batman or a superhero,
dreams should not be realistic.
Yeah,
they shouldn't.
It's a fucking dream.
It's a dream. It shouldn't be realistic for you right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be I can't fucking be Batman, but I'm gonna get really fucking close. They're really fucking close.
Close as I fucking can.
People be like, dang, that's some Batman shit.
You're like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But, that applies. Like, you know what? I might not be the fucking best black belt ever, but I'm going to be
I'm going to strive for it.
I'm going to go after it and, put my 2 cents in.
Because, I don't know, I think that's a mentality thing, too, is my mentality has always been, I'm going to set the bar impossibly high. Because what if I hit it? What if I grab that damn bar?
Yeah.
Because if I don't, I'll still be amazing.
Yeah.
But what if?
What
man?
if?
What if that's my bar now and I don't know that it can be even higher? You can only comprehend everything you have right now.
If you want to put the limits on yourself like that.
Like, don't put the limits, just, and that's, goes back to trusting the process of, if you drop your ego, if the ego, you let your ego control that, you set the bar low and you reach it and you're like, I'm the man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you'll never realize how much more the man you could be. You know what I'm saying? But if you put the bar stupid, impossible high of where right now you can't even comprehend that thing, what happens if you hit it and you realize that wasn't really that much?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, oh, I can do this much more. Like,
you're like, oh, there's a whole another bit to this mountain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that can go for any aspect. Like, you have a shitty job, like, set your goal higher. You have whatever, shitty relationships, set your goal higher.
Yeah.
But that's coming from people who have naturally been goal-oriented most of their lives. Not everyone is. Mm-hmm. If you aren't, try it.
Try it, man. And try it, and you don't have to reach the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is a mark.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll be striving for that goal, and it'll veer you off in a whole different direction you didn't even see.
Yeah. And I used to be cynical about positive thinking and that sort of thing. I was like, fuck that shit. Like, that's stupid.
Life is pain.
Yeah. I'm like, I just gotta suffer, and that'll be that. Like, nah. Set your goals accordingly.
Yeah.
Do things well.
Yeah, just
take
do
care
well.
of yourself and drink water and stuff.
Yeah, drink that water. After your coffee, you drink the water.
Yeah.
Yes. I was listening to a TED Talk from one of the women that's in Game of Thrones, and I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I don't know who she is.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But she was talking about her process and how she said that don't strive to be famous, strive to be talented.
Yeah.
And so she said she always strived to be talented, and being an actress was never really on her radar. She's a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up being in the most popular TV show ever.
Yeah.
Because she was just striving to be talented at the opportunities that she was presented with. And she's like, I just took the opportunity, and this one failed.
Yeah.
And I took it again. Well, guess what? It failed again. But then I took this other one, and it hit. And I was still just trying. I just wanted to be good. I just wanted to be really good at this.
Yeah.
And I ended up here.
Challenge.
And if you're just constantly striving to be great, you would be amazed at you might not end up being great at what you initially went out to get.
Something there.
But you're going to have some skill sets in your back pocket.
And that can pay off in dividends before you realize it.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll be able to MacGyver the hell out of things. Yeah, all the time. Because you have, this varied life. Mm-hmm. And,
and, you get tired of one thing, again, back off of it, go do something else for a little bit.
That's a hard thing for people to do, stop banging their head against the wall sometimes, man.
It's something,
Yeah. You have to kind of let that drop into your subconscious and mull around a little bit before it gets worked out and come back to it later, and you'll be you'll be on.
Yeah.
But if you don't step away from it, that can't happen. And you got to be able to back off.
Yeah.
And come back later, and then it'll happen. It's, it's very much another neuroscience thing.
Sure.
I could go into details on that one, but I don't want to.
It's a different podcast.
I don't have all the words down, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Process. So we got
Process, take sips.
booyah. But I don't know. We're coming up on the end here, yeah. Yeah, so let's finish off.
So this is episode 1, variation 3, technically.
It is episode 1, version 3.
Yeah, so
yeah.
However you want to look at it, treat it like season 2, episode 1 all over again, something like that.
Could this be season 2?
Yeah.
We got a 13-episode season out of that.
Yeah.
That's a Netflix show.
Exactly. See? Start releasing it in seasons. And you can binge listen.
Season 2.
That's how people do shit anymore, so fuck it.
That's true. That's a good idea.
So we've trusted the process up to this point, and I think we're going to continue to do so and see where that takes us. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I like where it's going, man. I think that this could do something for us.
Yeah. And on top of that, it's just fun.
It is fun. It is just an excuse to sit and chat with your homie.
Yeah, it's fun. It's different. And, it's another outlet for us to do different shit.
Yeah.
We can... I don't like getting too far away from jiu-jitsu, but it's not jiu-jitsu, but we can sit here and talk about jiu-jitsu.
We can sit and talk about it. And, spend time together that we don't get to spend much time anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And
drinking coffee, chilling.
Yeah, and
in the dojang.
I don't know about you, but I can't talk like this to most people.
Nah.
No one gets it.
Yeah.
And so it's nice
to
have
deep end
that.
Real quick.
We go, and you can't have this conversation with anybody else.
Yeah.
So that is very cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah. some people, one of my friends was like, oh, like we should also have a podcast. I'm like, I don't know if I can sit there and talk with you for hours on it. I don't know if I.
You're like, it's got to work, man. It's
yeah, I
gotta
was
work.
like, it has to be kind of natural, like a little.
And so this works. Yeah, I don't know that I could do this with anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coffee regular.
Coffee regular. Bam. All right.
Yeah, signing off as always. Keep your coffee regular.
Yeah, peace in, folks.
Don't be a dick, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't
be nice.
a dick. Keep your coffee regular. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.